Hello. Hello. Nothing. I just want to talk about this because I know y'all don't know nothing about it. And I don't. Last time, 2 elections ago, I told y'all who's gonna win. Nobody listened to me, and then they got all surprised. So I'm giving y'all a heads up now. Since y'all didn't listen last time, maybe you'll listen this time. Ow. I don't know, but the level of effery Hey, lady. All right. Let me make sure that I got my guest thing on. So, does anybody know what Trump has been up to since like a week after he left office? Not really. Yeah. Yep. No. Yeah. Papers at Mar-a-Lago. No. Yeah, not really. Yeah, not really, because y'all ran all those people off this app. That's just the honest truth. Do you know what's been going on? Did y'all know that there's an element of January 6th that has continued since January 6th? Are you aware of that? The Republicans got ran off the app. Go. Move. Okay, so what? You remember when everybody was so happy that the Trump supporters were run off this app, and I said, "You're censoring free speech," and then everybody's like, "You must support Trump," and I was like, "No, you blankety blank." Okay. No, I'm independent. So basically, and everything I'm telling you, you can find if you just go look for it on YouTube. You'll find lots of. You want to look for the documentaries about it. So, ever since the January 6th thing happened, the. What can I use to describe these people? I'm going to describe them as creationists. Okay? That's how I'm going to describe this particular type of Trump supporting. Okay? So they have been threatening all polling stations across the United States. They are trying to disrupt any of the votes that happen. They are sending people to observe any votes. Y'all need to pay attention on November 8th. I think that's the primaries. They are scaring the people. So many have quit that deal with voting and polling in the states because they're threatening their homes, their lives, their children, and they're going to show up at the votes to intimidate people. They also may do more extreme things to certain voting stations. But you don't hear about it on the news. And you're not going to hear about it on here because y'all ran them all off. That's just one thing. I'm using the word creationists so that I don't get yeeted off of my life. So, they've been doing this nationwide since the January 6th thing, okay? And, well, somebody else can type it in. I just can't say it, what I mean by creationists. But ever since he left office, he's been rallying for profit now. Those seats go from $55 to, I think, $4,000. He hasn't stopped rallying. Just so y'all know, he hasn't stopped. Okay? So, and he has an enormous following. Okay? And he's going to run for president again. Dominionist, yes, period. Okay? So just so y'all know, it's coming. He's going to run. He ain't going to jail. He's going to run. But here's the problem is get away from me. Go lay down. Is no one's going to run. Here's where we have a problem. No one is going, when you have an incumbent president like President Biden, no Democratic candidate was going to run against him. I think that was done once in the history of the United States. So no Democrat that is a better choice is going to be running against Biden. Okay? But I don't think the Republican Party is going to accept Trump it back in. They're the ones that allowed all the stuff to happen anyway. As I told y'all, and then now they're finding the phone calls that are going from the Republicans that were in the White House to the people in the insurrection during the insurrection. I told y'all about that. So, I think what we have to be really mindful of is that you're going to have no better Democratic candidate because Biden is the incumbent. And then you're going to have a separate Republican nomination. And then you're going to have Trump come in under a different party. We'll see if he sticks with it. If he doesn't run again, that'll make it really interesting. Because then you'll have a Democrat. Then you have to see what the Democrats pull. Because if the Democrats pull I can't use the word, the EX word, a severe left person. Somebody type in what I mean for severe, since I can't say it out loud. A severe, if they choose a severe left person, thank you, yes, that, then the Democrats are not necessarily going to get voted for. If you have 3 candidates, we're going to have some interesting stuff go down. You don't have to introduce a party. Okay? No, that's an example of no, modern. No. So if they picked someone, a severe leftist, and on a separate ticket, hey, Doctor, yeah, and then you have a moderate Republican, that is going to be interesting. We haven't had a successful third party run. I can't remember. It was back in the history books, and that third party person won. Right. So I think it was not. I don't remember, but there was a time when there was 3. It was a really long time ago. I learned about it in history class, and that third one won. So I don't. I will in a minute. I want cheese. I'm going to finish saying what I have to say first. So, and the thing is the amount of turmoil that this is going to cause for it when Trump even announces his run is going to be absolute effery. Just absolute. Oh, God. If they want to win, they won't put up Liz Cheney. It's going to be absolute effery because if the if the Republicans want to win, they're going to have to put up the most moderate Republican that they have. They would have to put up the most moderate candidate that they have, because when the Democrats come up, if they choose, well, let me change that. If the Democrats choose to do a extremely leftist version, then that actually gives the Republicans more leverage in the Republican Party. It's and the thing is the people, the ones that I'm referring to as creationists, so I don't get yeeted. Everyone type in what I mean by creationist. They honest to God think, they honestly think that if they started stuff, that the military would not stop them. They really think that. They seriously they really think that. And The other thing is, I don't think the before January and the March, up until that point, we didn't realize that we're learning how to organize. And I watched these programs, and they actually learned from the Democrats how to organize. Okay. So these groups now are very organized, and I don't think that our side is prepared. We're not prepared for the organization that they have now. They have an astonishing amount of organization now, and they're not hiding themselves anymore. Yeah, and they are pecking, and they really think that if they were to do something, that the military would back them up. So I don't think y'all understand that these people really, really, really believe that they are doing and fighting for God. They really, really believe that. So what you have is a Christian version of uh, the extremely Quran people. That's what you have going on. That's under Trump. Oh no, it's past Yahtzee. Way past. No, it's the version of the Taliban, but it's the Christian. Yes, it's the Christian version. And if you don't think these psychos will fire, it's Al Qaeda. Trump 2024. They're not playing. This is what I need y'all to understand, because the last time he ran, oh, none of y'all listened to me. I told y'all what was going to happen. And you're like, no, it's not. I was like, yeah, it is. And then that's exactly what happened. And then I told y'all that Bernie wasn't going to win. And you were like, yeah, he is. And I was like, no, he's not. So they aren't playing this time at all. They are more organized and more determined now than they were before. Depends on the libertarian, quite frankly. So, and y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. If if the left protest try to be aggressive back like they were before, they're going to get shot. Bye. If the leftist protests engage in any way, it's going to be an absolute disaster. Like, and the thing is, it is like, if the left doesn't learn how to do like silent sit-ins, which y'all have a problem doing. If you think the one guy that drove his was bad, you have seen nothing yet. You're just not prepared. You're not prepared for this level of uh, how real they are. Yeah, everybody thinks it's the Civil War. It's not. It's going to be. They are annihilated by the military. That's what. That's what I don't get. It's not. I mean, it could lead to what may be called a civil war, but it's not. It'll be them versus the military. Hey, and they're going to get annihilated. I no, I think it'll be a temp. I mean, martial law will probably be part of if in other words, if the left protest people don't learn how to shut up and sit down and do those kind of protests where you just don't move, and they engage with any of the creationist people, it's going to be an absolute disaster. The military, yeah, yes, there are extremists in the military, but at the end of the day, the military has to follow the president that is in office at that time, which will be Biden. Like, y'all are not prepared because you, you ran them off the app, so now you don't see anything. And I know y'all don't go. American news is malarkey, so I know you're not watching what you need to be watching. And it doesn't matter to them. Here's the thing: it doesn't matter to them that the president is only a puppet. That doesn't matter to them. That you got to remember that these people really still think that our government is a democracy. Uh, Trump supporters will run off the app. There's no democracy here. There hasn't been democracy here for quite some time, but they still think it is. So they still think that the president is kind of like an authoritarian figure. Oh, I didn't see him. Okay, Neo. Beyblade. Yes, the Beyblades. The Beyblades. What would you call our country is a well disguised oligarchy. And by I don't know what the word would be for oligarchy where the members of the oligarchy are industry. You know what I mean? Like big oil, big pharma, um I don't know if there's a better word for that when it's run by those things. It's just oligarch. Okay. Monopoly lit. Let's call it. And the thing is, another thing that they don't teach any of y'all is that there's more than one type of capitalism. because they want you to divide between capitalism and socialism. There are lots of different types of capitalism. We have the crappy one. The one that works the best in real life is, oh man, what's the capitalism in Japan? Hold please. Type of capitalism in Japan. Collective capitalism. Yes, thank you, Bella. So the type of capitalism that works and before I get started with all these people, the working to death is not part of collective capitalism. That is part of the Japanese culture. Okay. But collective capitalism is the most functional type of capitalism to reduce the gap between the wealthy and the poor. Hands down. It is the, no, they didn't teach you about it in school. It is hands down the most functional model to use in a free country. But they don't want y'all to be educated about that. They want you to be divisive. So you're either for or against, because that works better for you to be manipulated. Turtles or scrotes? I don't know. Go ask the people in Japan. But I know that functionally, if you go ask the different variations in Japan, money wise, it's a better setup. I have no idea. Who am I predicting to win? I have no idea. The dream that I had earlier last year, where everybody told me to shut up, was that I dreamed that Donald Trump ran with that Carrie Lake lady and won, and it was just absolute melee. And what they also don't teach you is that the those of you who favor socialistic governments, like in Northern Europe, um, I don't think that y'all understand how that works and why it would never work in the United States, and why those countries turned into Trump countries real quick when all the um, immigrants were coming in, running from war. That changed real quick. That's why they cut them off. It was going to bring the entire system down, because you can't, their system works on an even turnover rate, right? So each couple or whatever over there produces like 2 kids on average, 1 or 2 kids. That does not change. They all feed into the system, and there's not a change of that ratio. Okay. But when you have migrant families come in, where they have one main worker and then a spouse and several kids that pull on the system, it flips it off. And so that's when they were like, we have to stop this. How about you vote with your brain instead of voting for a color? That's what I don't get. How about you use your brain and vote to your brain? If you're going to vote, it doesn't matter. It's a waste of time. But anyway, that's why those systems don't work here. Never going to work here. Never going to work here. Period. I mean, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Yeah, when you have less people paying in than you have pulling on, it's goes down the tube. That's what people in America don't get. The United States population is going up. It's the white people that are going down, which I don't know why they get so upset about that. They have the entire Europe. I don't understand. They get so you will not replace it. Replace you where? You're not from here. Go over there if you want to be that way so bad. I never understand that, and I'm really white. But they feel like if they win, then it's theirs. They really do. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter. We won. What? Anyway, yeah, I think it is going to be. I mean, I'm going to sit on my porch and smoke a cigarette, and I might even buy a beer to just watch that whole thing burn because it's going to be redonkulous. So, Mama Foot, you think they're coming for our practices? If they keep getting um, B-Blay people in Congress, yes. That's what people don't get. I, I don't know why y'all think there's a difference between Republicans and Democrats. That's just a facade that they put on for y'all. I'm not saying it for you to get scared. I'm saying it for you to be prepared because I know that y'all ran them off of here, so we're not able to know what they're doing unless you kind of infiltrate them through Clapper or through Facebook. And it's going to come around, and y'all are going to be like, "What? How did that happen?" Do you got a potty? Hold on. And the thing is since no young people turn out for local elections, that's how so many of the B-Blade people are getting elected into governor positions, mayor positions, and that's how they're making their way into Congress because y'all think that those are not important. And so that's how they get in there because none of the young people actually, almost no one except for old ass Republicans, vote in your local elections. And then you're like, how did all those people get into Congress? Yeah, well, that's about the only time your vote matters. That's about the only time your vote actually matters is on your local elections. And then you wonder how they got there. You even have listen to this. I forget, maybe this was Arizona, where you even had a creationist run against the county coroner that has a doctorate. I'm not kidding. thoughts on lobbyists? Look, it's really simple. This our country will 100% fall, and it honestly, I'm not going to be mad about it, because unless you limit the terms of Congress, outlaw lobbying, you're nothing is going to change. And that is never going to happen. Read my lips. Never going to happen. You would have to fire everyone from Congress at once, outlaw lobbying, and then let everybody vote people back in. Lobbying is done by big corporations, and basically they legally pay for, actually the Congress don't write the bills. They hand the lobbyist person the form, and the lobby fills out, let's say you're big oil, so the lobby fills out what they want done, and then they give it back to the congressman, and then the congressman goes, oh, I'm going to submit this bill. I've told y'all over and over to go watch the free documentary Requiem for the American Dream and pay attention. This this is the reason we still have the Electoral College. 100% not needed. There needs to be no states involved in the vote. No states. None. Should not be done by states. It should be a popular vote, period. And we don't get to vote on, if any type of law comes through that involves the entire United States, we never even know about it. We never even know about it. And so there's really, I can't really think of a way to change it unless, you know, the A word. Quite frankly, I think it needs to go off the rail. Oh, I have plenty of peace of mind, because I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. You really cannot stop this. And that's why I tell people to please learn how our national government actually works, because then you would see how little power you have, and you would drop down where you vote. You have to drop down where you vote. So, in other words, when when the locals come around for your town, and you have like this guy versus this guy, and then over here you have this random ass Jeff the mechanic is running, you need to be voting for Jeff the mechanic. They get whatever signatures they want to get. So that's, if you learn how the national government actually works, you will drop down where you vote. Yeah, you would vote for Jeff for Congress, Jeff for the school board. And you see them run, it'll be some random ass dude like Jeff the mechanic, because he's sick of it. But nobody ever votes for Jeff. I'm cold. Let me close my door. Hold on. So I'm going to give y'all an example of why it doesn't really matter uh, about your presidential vote. That just gets the people fired up. So, as we learned, or if you haven't learned, I'm about to educate you. The problem with Obama's terms is that during his presidency, there was a shift in the House, I believe, and it became the majority Republican. And they said, literally, no matter what he puts up here, we're going to block it. Bye, sassy goat. Period. Just because. Just because he's Obama, we're going to block it. And that's exactly what happened. So there's very limited power to the person that you elect in as president, okay? He can do those first 100 days executive actions, right? After that, they can override him. The Congress can override him. So had he went to when he took us out of the Paris Agreement, they could have overridden him. They didn't, but they could have. And that's why your person you vote for president is only in control of things and can only make any kind of no flag back in that first 100 days. And that's it. That's it. Period. You For a president to make big change, either the parties have to right now they're both extremists. So the parties have to either work together or you need to have a majority in both houses. We haven't been in a justified war under anybody, period. And I don't even know how long. So when it comes to what president does what war, I don't even care. Because we haven't had a justified war in forever. Well, I hate it for y'all, but on the international stage, Trump was an accurate reflection of the majority of people in this country. Period. Whether y'all like it or not. He was an accurate representation of the majority of the United States of America. Cutio. Yeah, but that's the truth. And until that shifts in a violent way, it's not going to change until we we are. When I say we, I mean white folks are bred out significantly more. Dude, don't get me even started on the vote. I have it on my YouTube. You can go watch it there to see what the popular vote was as it was happening. Okay? That's all they did the same thing with Obama. I was there and watched it, and then the next day on the internet, oh, the numbers are suddenly different. No, with Obama and who was the businessman that ran against Obama? Who was that businessman? What was his name? That ran against Obama. Romney. And Romney had the popular vote. And then the next day, he didn't. But I was watching it, and he did. He had it. And then the next day, oh, well, it's gone. Where'd it go? So It happens all the time. All the time. Bernie will never be allowed to be on any significant thing. And Bernie he won the Democratic candidacy. And I told y'all, when you wake up this morning, it's going to be Biden. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to be, no, it's going to be Biden. And it was, because Bernie can't win. The powers that run the government are not going to pay for what he wants them to pay. Period. There's another guy, if you ever take the time or you give it any worth to what I say, God, not the son, Rand Paul. No. His father, Ron Paul. Ron Paul is one of the most intelligent people that has ever been within the U.S. government. He has foretold everything that has happened. They have ignored him, and he's been right every single time. Every single time. And I'll never forget this. On one of the, I don't remember what Republican debate this was, but I know Trump wasn't involved. Listen to me. This is what the guy asked the Republican candidates. He said, I may be getting the country wrong. He said, Iraq says that having battleships sitting in the Strait of Hormuz is an act of war. Now, the Strait of Hormuz is basically like a Gulf area region right next in the Middle East. He goes, what do you have to say about that? So all the candidates, as they go down, they're like, oh no, we're just trying to regulate, da 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 da. And they get to Ron Paul, and he said, well, if Russia had 3 aircraft carriers sitting in the Gulf of Mexico, wouldn't you consider that an act of war? You absolutely cannot find that anywhere on the internet at all anymore. Gone. It does not exist anymore. And he said that's no, did not exist. They took it away. And I'm glad, honestly, I'm glad that Ron Paul didn't get elected, because somebody would have JFK'd him. They would have JFK'd him in a minute, and it would have been a loss of a great mind. Are you okay over there? But yeah, he said it right out, and they were like everybody. Now the crowd was like, yeah, and everybody else was like, oh. No, I mean JFK'd. Abraham Lincoln, his ass right on out of there. He was JFK'd by us. But anyways.
Wasn't Teddy Roosevelt JFK, or did he just die?
He just died. But anyway, I don't think you are prepared for what's coming, because yeah, you ran him off the app. So now we can't see anything. So you have to go over to YouTube and you have to look for it. I made a playlist on my YouTube. I think the title of it is 2024 election. Yeah, I've been on Clapper. I will. I don't think there's a getting prepared. I'm just saying, if y'all think it's going to be a hunky-dory little, oh, let's go vote red or blue. No. No. No, because they run them off. And the powers that be let you run them off because y'all don't like free speech unless it's speech that you like. And that's why y'all don't know. I don't think it's guts. It's just, dude, there is no difference except for violence level between the extreme left and the extreme right. How you doing, Tino? Tino. Yeah, you're. Do you believe in misinformation, disinformation? Yeah, duh. It's a propaganda tool. Do I think Trump will win again? I think there's a very, very, very extraordinarily good chance for that to happen. That's not a key difference, dude. When you depends on who you vote for. It's not. It may be a key difference when y'all are physically in front of each other, but it's not a key difference when it comes to why y'all vote for what y'all vote. If the Democratic Party changes its mind and lets him in for that, oh, 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 we're going to war. Respect Jay Bryan. More student stuff on your site eventually. I've been through a lot this week. I didn't know you were going with the free speech thing. What do you mean going with it? Where you were going? Yeah, y'all are when it comes to free speech. Well, there's other answers, but we've been. Chances, thoughts on chances of, if you're not I really don't think it's going to be civil. I think if anything, it's the bee blaze will start, and then the military will end that. Anybody do no nuclear war? Like, what's the difference between free speech and misinformation hate speech? When an individual is on their platform, on a social media thing, spouting their beliefs about Mr. Cheeto and QAnon, that is their free speech. When a news agency picks it up and broadcasts to everyone that rhetoric is fact, that is misinformation. You see what I'm saying? So when you get these people yeeted because they are voicing their beliefs, no matter how unreasonable they are, when anybody from Spiritual Talk or Witch Talk gets on here talking, we sound to them just as out of touch. So you're taking their freedom of speech away because you don't like it. And that is not constitutional. Period. But these apps, they just keep doing it. It blows my mind. You know, when it's a person that has a bajillion million followers and they do it, that is misinformation. But when it's just Jane Trump over here expouting their beliefs that Trump was sent by Jesus and fake news and all that, they're allowed to say that. That's not misinformation. That's them voicing their opinion on their platform. When someone is able to influence masses of people, that is misinformation. Yeah. Or else everyone on Spiritual Talk could be taken down for misinformation. Can't prove any of that, you know? And so I was like trying to tell y'all, and y'all were just like, and here we go. This been going on since it's been going on for 2 years, and y'all ain't know nothing about it. I don't want neither one of them to win. Quite frankly, I don't want neither one of them to win. And y'all better look out. Let me tell you another thing that's going to be an absolute disaster. And that's if Michael Flynn is used by the Democratic Party. Oh, we are. If you got a Democratic Michael Flynn and Donald Trump, we're period. End of story. Greg Locke is over millions and millions of people. That is disinformation. Right there. Who is Michael Flynn? And I'm not surprised that you asked that. That's how out of touch y'all are. That's how out of touch y'all are by running people off this app. That you don't know who Michael Flynn is. That's how bad it is. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Y'all, anyone who is not Republican is going to get, y'all are in for the biggest shock ever because of the way that you've sectioned yourselves off. It doesn't go away because you run them off. No, it's not. You can go on YouTube and look up documentaries for it. It's not hard. You just don't look. You block yourself off. It doesn't go away because you made them go off of your feed. This is the same thing that got him elected, that got Trump elected the first time. Because the people on the coast wanted to pretend like the entire angry white of the United States, millions of miles of angry white people, don't exist. And I'm like, y'all, what's wrong with y'all? And the thing with Michael Flynn is he's a 5-star general. He's a 5-star general. And a creationist. He's not a Democrat. No, no, no. I'm funner than frog here. I think that let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If I was Donald Trump, I would announce my running with Michael Flynn. That's what I would do. Take them all. Take them all. All right, Bella. Yeah, it'll eventually be on YouTube. Take them all out. And it will not be good. Just so y'all know. It will absolutely be horrendous. No. If Trump was smart, he would run with Michael Flynn and take the entire Christian vote. That's the majority. And the only hope you got is that you pump Democrats into the Congress. If he was if he won the presidency, yes, the military would do that. No, Jada's not going to vote. I taught them how this shit works. I don't think Trump and Flynn would cause a civil war. We would just lose. You can't go against the military if Trump is in office. Can't do it. Gonna have to wait. Do I think votes are rigged? They can be, yeah. Do they every time? No, but they can be. Yeah, you can't. You better shut up and let your rights get taken away until there's another vote, because you can't go against Trump if he is in office with the military with his back. Yeah, he was a one-term president. He is running. The Electoral College will always be there because that allows them to not do what their state tells them to do. As long as we don't have limits on Congress and outlaw lobbying, you will always have the Electoral College. Because what the Electoral College does is it allows your representative to not do what you ask them to do. So will we have, oh God, I hope not. Yep. So if your state votes blue, but your representative doesn't want to vote blue, they don't have to. Just so you know. Yep. Yep, Pandora. Brand who specifically? What? The thing is the people that tell you the Electoral College is necessary will bring the state thing in there. That there are no states in a popular vote. That's what people don't comprehend. There are no states in a popular vote. You don't need the Electoral College. There isn't. Red's remedies. The only way that you can influence the effery that is our national government is you have to vote down here locally. You have to vote down here locally. That's exactly right. It takes you longer to get your answer, but you'll get an accurate answer every time that reflects the people. But if you want to change how the national government works, you have to vote low. You have to vote down here for your local shit in your town, for your mayor, for your governor. You have to vote there. Melly Boo, that's what they always tell you in order to make you think the electoral college is necessary. You don't need the electoral college when you take the popular vote, because then there are no states involved. There's no states involved. You have to count the votes of all the people. We're supposed to be a republic, okay? Supposed to be. We dabble in being a republic every now and then. And we never dabble in being a republic when it's something important. We only dabble in being a republic when it's some stupid moral reason. Nobody wants to be a republic until it comes to gay rights and abortion. Nobody had a problem with getting a federal bank. We're not supposed to have a federal bank. We are not supposed to have a federal bank of any kind, period. So nobody wants to be a republic until it comes to moral issues. Yeah, you're not supposed to have a Federal Reserve. What it was supposed to be was the states governed themselves unless an issue applied to everyone. Okay? You know, like marriage. But here's an example of the type of law that would have applied if we were on the republic like we're supposed to be. The law, when they passed the law where no more old school toilets could be bought, the regular toilets with the big water tank in the back, in order to conserve water across the nation, those can no longer be manufactured or sold. Now the toilets that you get have this little contraption in the back, and they're low flow toilets because that conserves water for everyone. So that would be a federal law. Follow me? Then you could choose what state you wanted to live in for all the other individual things. So that's what blows my mind when people, when they refer gay marriage or whatever back to the states, or abortion back to the state. Excuse me? That that should never be referred back to the states. That affects everyone. So I'm like, how? I don't even like what's going on there. Howdy. Like, there's so much effery. It's ridiculous. It's redonkulous. It really is. Hey, Chantal. Well, here's the thing. I miss bidets too. Here's the thing. I have no idea what's going to happen with this election. Ah, I'll be keeping track though. I'm be very interested, but I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised, and you better pay attention and see what kind of effery they do. Because let me tell you, the B-Blay Republicans are absolutely planning to take governor positions and mayor positions in an organized effort on November 8th. So you know, they're going to mess around with those. They're going to accuse, they're trying to break the vote, is what they're trying to do. And it's going to be, and because, like I told y'all, nobody wants to vote low, a lot of those places are going to get these creationist B-Blaze that say that the Bible's law comes before man's law. They are going to win in these positions. You stupid Chantal. I'm going to go with you, though. Yeah, they're going to win. Beth Bonte, it depends on what I'm doing at that time. I really have no idea. I'm going to go with you, though. I'm going to buy my nose. I vote locally, but I'm in a red state, so I always lose. But I do not vote in the presidential election. I voted for Obama, though, because I wanted all of those damn white assholes in Congress to see a brown man as president. That is literally what he could have been the worst person in the world, and I'd still voted for him. Just because I wanted them to see. I wanted them to see it. Greg Abbott gets. I doubt he will. So yeah, I vote locally. I don't even. Once I figured out how the government worked, I was like, wow, people really don't know how this country works. I'm not really, I have that on my YouTube. This isn't really a witchy kind of live. But yeah, people, you got to vote low. If you want to have any change, you have to change the Congress. Oh, hello, Go Vegan. And you can't change the Congress unless you vote low. No. That's exactly why I voted. He could have been the most suckiest person of all, and I'd have still voted for him. My car is still sitting there broken because I'm pouting about it and haven't went and got it fixed. I don't like this week at all. But I know that Trump is running. Well, he started his campaign as soon as he got out of office. He's been running. You just don't hear about it because it's not on the news because they were hoping for it to go away. It's not going away. And then the trumpets have been organizing and they are stalking all voting polls. All of them. Threatening the people that run them. Thousands of people have quit across the nation because they're threatening their lives, their children, threatening to blow up the polling station. And they're getting very smart. So the call can't be tracked, the email can't be followed, and they learned it by watching, they tell you that they learned it by watching the left. So now, especially the power part of them, it's not legal, but you can't catch them, is also organized even more. The MAGA march in January 6th was a good demonstration, but it has not stopped since then. And if the left counter protesters don't figure out how to protest silently, it's going to pop off. It's going to pop off somewhere badly. And if he runs and he loses, we're also going to have a situation. Anybody can run with an investigation ongoing. You need to look up qualifications to run for president. You can be in jail and win the presidency, just so you know. Just so you know. It doesn't mean they're not going to do it. When you're when you're talking about people showing up to observe the vote in a red state, the police are the exact same people as the ones that are observing the vote. Hello? Hey, Bob. Hi, Neil. It's the same people. You can't run with a felony at the time, as in prior to. It's the United States was not set up to be a two-party system anyway. That's what they left. It was never supposed to be that way. Go look it up. Go look it up. Go look it up. I do meet the criteria to run for president. I'm not going to do that shit, but yeah. Mm-mm. Hi, I love you. Okay, bye, Nocturnal. Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. I always have long before BLM movement, because if you're in a county where the almost everybody is, and you're poor, you're substituted as the brown people. So that's what I grew up with. Never, there's no good ones as far as I'm concerned. We've been duped into believing we have no say in our political systems when we. Nope. No, you don't. Not unless you vote low. You can vote for the figurehead that has power for about 100 days, and then that's it. Oh my God, y'all write me in. There's no way in hell I would ever. That's why I keep telling people you have to vote. You have to vote low, and you have to push your people up, up, up into the Congress. Oh, I must have misunderstood what you said. No, there's no way. Imagine me waking up to be president. I'd be like, no, I'm sorry, excuse me. What we have here is a failure to communicate. You have to outlaw lobbying. That's the number one thing you would have to do to get a real change. And well, the Congress is the one that would vote on that. So you can see that's never going to happen. Yeah, I did. Yeah. They are now. Do you know that pit bulls have their own multi-million-dollar lobby? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know that? That's why they never get outlawed or a ban on breeding them temporarily. They have their own lobby in Congress. Just so you know. Foster children don't, but pit bulls do. Let's see, pitties. Yeah, pit bulls have their own lobby. Do you think the U.S. will have a woman president one day? Not anytime soon. I mean, apparently my uterus belongs to the state of South Carolina, so. Hold on just a second. No, the box is not here. Yeah. Apparently, my uterus belongs to the state of South Carolina. Because I didn't want to. What's the other thing that. Oh. And then the abortion stuff. The abortion stuff. I don't know how that passed originally. Just all of them at any time. That's how that law was passed. All abortions are okay all the time. And that's the basis of the reason that it got flipped. Like, I for real, I don't know how that happened. And since there is no mid ground, not originally. Originally, when that thing passed, it was like any of them, anytime, for any reason. The ectopic thing is still an emergency. It is. That didn't change. But, I mean, that's why I made my pamphlet. Because we took care of it long before there was a law. Whoa! You don't think Trump will get judged? No. But let me tell you why. Okay, so they did this with Nixon. I don't know if you're old enough to remember who Nixon is, but a lot of times what the population doesn't understand is the main guy, like Trump or Nixon, will get. Back then, the incoming president pardoned Nixon, but now we'll just be like, there's not enough evidence because it causes national problems. You follow me? If you try to if you try to go after Trump for what he did, you're going to have a national security problem for one. And then they are going to pull up all the crap from all the other presidents or people that were running that were not prosecuted. So that's a lot of times why they do not face jail. Right? Because if you remember during the um, Wall Street bailout, they, why didn't they prosecute any of the CEOs? They could have. That was in their power to do, and they didn't. So that's why they don't do that. It will become a national problem. You'll hear EVPs on my lives. I hear them all the time when I replay them. Isn't guilty and was proven by. I mean, it doesn't matter if he was guilty, is what I'm saying, Pandora. How should you prepare? You like I said on my YouTube, I have a playlist that says, I think it's titled 2024 Election Fuckery, where I've pulled in all the different documentary type programs so that you can see, so you can go look for yourself. It's not a matter of being able to change something. You need to understand what's coming, is what you need to understand. Because if you are one of those people that is against them, you cannot be reactive when this starts coming up. It's the first time visiting, and I absolutely love you. Well, Savage Cherry, I like never do this. I do witchcraft. So I might be disappointing after this. Economically and socially, I don't think there's going to be a real transition there. I don't think there's going to be a real transition there. Um, unless the poop hits the fan, you know. Because if these people who when I tell y'all they believe they're fighting for God, I'm not kidding. Okay, if they decide to exercise their Second Amendment rights, then everything's going to stop for a little bit. Everything will stop for a little bit because then we'll have a military incident in the United States. I'm not going to go all the way into it, but I am going to upload this to YouTube. I'm fixing to get off here in a minute, so you can go see it then. But it is my bottom line here is that because y'all have run these people off of these apps, you have no idea what's been going on for the last 2 years and what's going to start ramping up in the next 2 years. Because y'all did that. Y'all can't be doing that. This is just one example of why. You have no idea. And they know that you don't know, by the way. They know that you don't know. A revolution? No. If Trump was to win again, you had best keep your mouth shut until the next election because the military is under the president. And the military, I don't see being especially liberal and going, nah, we're going to coup the president. So you literally need to button your mouth and keep it shut if he wins. It's going to get ridiculous. And I can't even fathom what will happen with the POC population if he wins again. I mean, if he wanted to get a hair up his ass and wanted to cause a WAR, he could refuse to leave, but yeah, it's going to get really bad. It will not be a happy time in the United States. I've seen a lot of them getting booted, yeah, because they're there. But see, those are the ones that are unveiling themselves on social media. You know what I'm saying? They're getting found out. Our best, our best way to prevent that is to pray to whatever you pray to, that the Republicans do not let him run for them, and then you have three candidates. You have the Democratic, the Republican, and whatever party that Trump decides to run over. No, I had a nightmare last year about it, but that would be our best option, is to split that. Yeah, I don't understand why they think that leftists or liberals don't own guns. I never understood that. Like, I will cap you. You know what I'm saying? I never understood it. I know there's a very small section of diehard leftists, and they're like, ew, guns. Okay, well, you stay over there because I'm about to bust some caps. Well, if he runs and he loses, it's going to be an effing disaster. But we'll have the military on our side if he runs and loses and stuff pops off. Are you in the shower?
I just got out.
If he was to run and lose, then stuff will pop off, but we'll have the military on our side. That's the yeah, it's a smoke detector. Oh, but it didn't always do that until here recently. But anyways, no. So I just want y'all to be aware of what is going on. Putin is waiting for his friend Trump to rejoin the fight. I want y'all to be aware of what's going on. That's why I created that playlist on my YouTube. And if you're interested, I've always had a playlist that says how the world actually works because of how much the American people are misled. So many informative things to open your eyes, perhaps not in a good way, on that list. So you can understand how the world, does, especially the country we live in, actually works. Thank you. The moment a soldier fires on us, they better fire on a civilian. If those civilians are the Trump supporters that just lost an election, they better level them because then they're treasonous. And they better level every single one of them, armed or not. July 6th was treason. They don't get that. But that's treason. That was called an attempted coup. When you commit treason, that's it. You're done. It's just like the rebel flag is treasonous. What are y'all doing? What are you doing? You lost. That's a treasonous flag. Why is it up? I explained why January 6th was allowed to happen on purpose, and I go through that on my YouTube as well.
Do you have Benadryl or something? Because I almost threw a fit sleeping in the shower. Like a tampon.
Oh, it's on my nightstand. If you go on my playlist, it says Witchfoot on social issues. Who has ran off this app? The Trumpsters. If you go to my playlist, it says Witchfoot on social issues, which is the same one that this will be on. I explained. I told y'all about January 6th back on January 7th, and nobody believed me. Well, a couple of y'all did. Nobody believed me. And now, thank you. They know for a fact that there were phone conversations going on between Republicans inside the Capitol building and the rioters. And I told y'all from the beginning. So, it's there. It's on my playlist. You can go to my playlist, Witchfoot on social issues. Yeah, I told y'all from the beginning that was allowed to happen and that it was choreographed by the Republicans. But it's not. Assassinating him would be horrible for the. It would be WAR within here, which I mean, I'm not really mad at that because we know how I feel about those psycho Christians. Time for you to go meet your maker. Y'all keep saying civil war, but it's not going to be civil. It would be the Trump Christians against the military. That's what it would be. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And people can get mad as they want to. But if you think it's okay to start a war for Jesus reasons, it's time for you to go meet Jesus now. And I don't feel bad. Then again, I'll probably get accused of what was it? What was it they accused me of? What did I get accused of by the Trumpsters after the before the MAGA march? I got put on their little watch list and reported to the FBI. Oh, TERROR istic threats on the MAGA march. And they were like, we're going to report you to the FBI. I'm like, I already have an account with the FBI. It's fine. Yeah. Because I said, this is what I said. I said, entire families, thousands of MAGA supporters, we're all going to be in the same place at the same time. It would be a shame if there was a natural disaster. And they thought that meant that's how they interpreted it, was that I was going to, I don't know, I'm a powerful witch. I can create natural disasters. I wasn't aware I had that kind of power. Like, what did they tell the FBI? I said I was going to create a tornado. How did they report that? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was like, I already have an account with the FBI. It's fine. Would you like my full legal name? It's Jennifer Sands. I was like, just go, they'll just pull me right up. Yeah. They had me on all their little list and they were sharing me through all their little networks. It was really cool. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Medium Christine. I would love to do that. But as long as Christianity is on this planet and Islam is on this planet, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Because they're disconnected. I can 100%. That thought right there, Sage, after him going to the White House raid, I cannot imagine him becoming president again. That is why he's gained so much following and he's been campaigning the whole day, because so many people think like that. I don't think you understand the millions of people that see him as the savior of the United States of America. Millions of people. Because evangelistic Christians are Have you heard me once advocate for Biden? Because I literally haven't said that once. Not once. I think we all know that we would have literally voted for anyone other than Trump. It could have been an actual, like, doll, and we would have still voted for the doll president of the United States. Okay? We just wanted anyone else. Anyone else. Anyone. We just were tired of seeing, thank you, that face. Do you think North Korea? No. Russia's right above its head. Do you think those people around them want to get blown up? Because no. We need a gay, atheist, POC president. Who is Kanye? Kanye is irrelevant if y'all would stop making him relevant. A gay, atheist, POC woman president. That's what we need. RuPaul for president. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Local, yes. That's the only one you have a say in. Do, I get that's a whole nother live to get me started on the way Native Americans are treated in this country. Whole nother live that I would surely get shut down immediately when I get started on that. Because that brings in the whole spiritual side of why the United States will fail. That's a whole nother ball game. Right now, I'm just talking about the man's problem. But the having an indigenous two-spirit president would they probably wouldn't be president for very long. I'm just being truthful. What do I think about Elon buying Twitter? I don't. I don't think about that. That's not something I think about. That's what they said about Obama. What? What do you, what? Uh-oh, Blurb, what'd you do? I think Biden. No, I thought those PPP receipts, that was the one thing he did where I was like, no, he didn't. Oh, he won't be president for long. Well, the reason they were wrong about that with Obama is because white folks like him too. Oh yeah, when Biden, that was the first time I've heard Biden say something, and I was like, no, he just didn't. I wasn't mad at all. I was not mad at all for him for that one. He just was like, it was like one of his senior moments that absolutely worked for him. Because he was like, oh, really? Well, and such and blah 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 billions and blah blah. I was like, what? Yes, go for it. He just spit that right out. Like, I'm pretty sure he wasn't supposed to say that, but he just had a senior moment and out it came. And I was like, no, he did not. You go, Biden. That was like one of the best things I've heard come out of his mouth. I would say the U.S. He was just like, oh, really? He just, oh, thank you. He just dropped them receipts real quick. Oh, you got a problem with me forgiving loan? Well, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, no, he did not. As soon as he got off there, they were probably like, Biden, we told you not to say that. And he's like, really? He just blurted that shit right out. I am. Like, I've never heard a single president say that at all. Oh, yes, they do play dirty. It's just usually in the primaries. That was great. What, you stopped you missed the thing where Biden blurted out? He was answering a question, right? Because a lot of the Republicans are mad that he is allowing for school loans to be forgiven. And so he just started naming off people in these big companies that took millions and millions of dollars from the PPP thing. He just started spitting them out one after another. I was like, he was like, you don't like that? Let's just say, all right. Well, blah 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 blah. He took out 5,232,000 in free money to forgive his loan, and Republican blah 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 blah. He accepted $2.3 million to forgive his loan from the government, and I was in the floor. I was in the floor. I was like, no, he did not. Ooh, I was like, that's the best thing that has ever come out of Biden's mouth. He called him out, buddy. I was like, I hope they write that down in the history books. Just go look it out when it says Biden. Just search Biden calls out, and it should pull it up for you. It's great. It's fucking great. All right, y'all. I am gonna go, but I will upload this to YouTube. But I got the playlist to inform you about this. It's the 2024 election playlist. And while you're in there, check out if you hear me talking about the way the United States really works and you want to learn for yourself, I have a playlist called The Truth About the World You Live In. And start off with, way down the list is Requiem for the American Dream. So you can, because they're not going to teach you that in school. And it'll let you know how this country really works and why your presidential vote really doesn't matter anymore. You got to vote from the bottom up. You got to start out with your mayors, your governors, and the people in there. Because by the time they go to Congress, it no longer matters. Okay? I will talk to y'all later. Oh, and also the thing about what actually happened on January 6th, where I told you a lot of people didn't believe me, and then they have evidence of it now. That is on my Witchfoot on Social Issues playlist. Just go through all my playlists. I mean, my shit's good anyway. Okay. Yeah. So I will talk to y'all later. Okay. All right. Say bye now. Bye bye. Thanks for everyone who gave gifts. I'll try. I should be able to add you. Um. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.